Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We got another 150 here for a 200,000 K inspection. Just looking at these tyres. Let's take a look at these for something different because they're the Toyos. Toyo Open Country. Let's have a quick look at a few things. Made in Japan. I do like made in Japan. Okay, so that is a big positive for the Toyo Open Country because Toyo doesn't sound like a pretty cool brand to me. I don't know much about them. Can we see a manufacture date? Not on this side. Let's go and have a look on the inside. Tread looks reasonable. Although, see the rubber, see the really fine cracking in between already? That would look like a tyre that's quite a few years old, but I don't think so. But it's not necessarily bad, but let's just have a look. 18, so 22nd week of 2018. In case you're not sure, see that stamp? The last number, 18, is the year, 22nd week, okay? So we'll assume they're all the same. They're about 3 years old. Got a bit of tread left. People might say they love them. They'll be okay off-road, no problems at all. People are going to say, yeah, I've had no trouble with them. You know, they're good and I love them. They probably could be good on-road and all that sort of thing, but they're not going to be as grippy off-road. The sidewall doesn't look like it's as thick, but I haven't analysed them off the rim, so I wouldn't know. So I wouldn't say it's got quite the same thickness and protection as the BFGs. So the unrivaled reliability and off-road grip, but this probably could be something that's better on-road. So each to their own what tyres you choose. 200,000, just a sweat, barely starting on the bottom of that rack there. Let's have a look at these boots. If I've got the oil drain tray here in the way, so we might have to do that part later, maybe in the video, maybe not, but I just want to have a look at those. I can't see any cracks. Oh yeah, no, the back ones, look, they're pretty bad actually, 200,000. So start saving. They're about 40% of the way through, so that starts saving. Standard set arms, GXL. Let's have a look at that. It's usually the back one, so we'll expect to see about the same. Not quite as bad, but you can see the crack in on the right side. So this is what you've got to look at. If you're purchasing a vehicle, that's something you've got to lay down underneath the front, look at the lower arm here, and look at the back bush. Right, because when it goes through, especially if you're buying it without a roadworthy, have a look at this, mate. Left it oil draining overnight. Is that customer service or what? This vehicle's got big problems. Okay, big problems. I'm not too sure what the problem is. I'll show you why. That drain tray, it's full. It's nearly overflowing. How the hell does that happen? That's a 16-litre drain tray. Unless there was oil already in there, I don't know about that. Right, look at that. You can have a look for yourself. 12 litres, what? And that's pretty level. So we've either got a problem with an internal fuel leak, or there's something I don't know about this drain tray and it had a bit of oil in it to start off with. So it could have 2 lots of oil in it. I hope not, because that's going to make it hard to tip out. So my assistant might have got lazy and going, I'll just drain 2 into there. But I don't know, I don't think he does that. So this could be a new thing, let's try that. But we'll come back to you later in the video, right? So, looks like the alternator's fairly clean, so that might have been replaced. I'd say that alloy is cleaner than the rest of the alloy around there. Alternators are more likely to fail on these than that fuel transfer thing. So at 150,000 Ks, my recommendation is you don't bother dropping the tanks change in the pump because they don't fail. When there's a problem with the fuel transfer, it's usually something else. There's a few issues that we've mentioned in other videos. So you might want to pre-educate yourself by watching all those so that when it comes up, you don't have to go into a panic and go, oh no, what do I do, and make mistakes. You watch the videos, pre-educate yourself. Subscribe, turn the bell on now so you don't miss the next one. Just having a look around for anything important. So all the CV boots, you know. It's a typical 200,000 Ks so far, so there's been plenty. The difference with this vehicle, so you can see there's been plenty of grease put in the tail shaft, plenty. This is what we call over-lubing. I'd probably rather a bit over and it's nice and wet, but I'd rather not that messy, where we've got the other extreme of they're dry and there's not one speck of grease up there. We need to get the balance, right? I'm not saying we as in us, we've sort of got it about right. We're not perfect, but that doesn't look too bad, you know? That one up there, it's a bit messy, hard to see, you know? So, you know, whatever, you get my drift anyway, you know, you get the balance right, not too much, not enough. Let's come to the back and have a look. So the pre-purchase thing, if you buy without a roadworthy, the situation is, they may say, hey, you need to change those bushes, and it's going to cost you quite a bit that you might not have budgeted for, and you need to allow for that in the price if you're buying the vehicle without the roadworthy. That's why with a genuine proper roadworthy's usually best, unless you know the person or the vehicle pretty well. These brake pads are hard for you to see, but I can see they've got about, I reckon they've still got about 40% left. Yeah, they don't need replacing, not the rear ones. Exhaust still looks good, fuel tank's good, no other damage at the back here really. Turbo doesn't even look like it's scraped. It's got the TGM and the King springs in there. Fuel filters on the 150, no drama, no fuel tank damage, no oil leaks at anything at all. Original pan hasn't been off, good. Starter mode, everything up there seems pretty dry and clean, no damage. You got to watch that boot there. Some people get sticks right up and damage that boot, so just be careful what you drive through. Back to the front, I'm not seeing anything, you know, worth. Let's try and take a look at these front brakes. They're getting down a bit. I'll have to have a look without the camera, but you know, they've got about 30% left type thing. Right, all the CVs, this one looks all right, because sometimes it's easy to go, yeah, you know. So the boot on the steering rack, the standard very light amount of oil. So if you go for a roadworthy and you get pinged on that, you're pretty unlucky. So the key is, because it's not really a leak, you do need to give that a good wash before you take it for a roadworthy. Just, you know, degreaser and a bit of a scrub if you need to, blast it off. And it is roadworthy, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a leak, but if some of these places see this stuff like this, they'll go, oh, your ball joint's leaking. Someone's put a lot of grease on there, the oily from the grease moves around and it starts to look messy. Sometimes you need to just clean up these components. Make the vehicle look really clean when you go for a roadworthy is going to help with the correct proper inspection. Take it in all dirty looking rough, straight away people are going to go, oh, this is going to be trouble. We've got to make sure we check this one thoroughly, right? So take it in clean, mate, so they can see what's going on. A 1KD like this, pretty well, other than those lower bushes, which to me, it's not really a roadworthy thing, because they're going to take ages to actually split through, and it can't go anywhere. The bolt is through the steel of the arm. So worst case scenario, it can move around, it'll drive crap, but it's not really a safety issue. Not even anywhere near it. Anytime in the next 12 months is that going to cause any safety issues for you whatsoever. So as far as I'm concerned, from a quick look, this vehicle's roadworthy. Let's get up under the bonnet and have a look around there, eh? Something else I thought it's time to mention again. I've said it before, but obviously people come along later after I've said it. And even though I say best go and watch all the older videos, or you've missed out on a lot of important information, they're very busy and they just can't spare that 20 minutes a day to get the information they need. These are a few of the old front diff plugs we've replaced. Now I'll just give you the rundown. So 200,000k service, 160 service, 120 service, 240 service, 40 service, 80, whatever. Every 40,000 k's the diff oils need to be changed. There is nothing wrong with these genuine plugs other than people over tighten them. They're heavy handed, like they over tighten lots of things, okay? That's why you just got to be careful where you go, even for general servicing of the vehicle, because little things like this get damaged. There's people posting, oh, you know, the diff plug's got to stay in, you know, mine doesn't want to come out, I'll suck the oil out. These plugs you can get out. I'll just quickly give you the tip, right? So if you're coming to the Prado hospital, or I'd suggest any of our 4x4 Diesel Workshop partners, I suggest you get on the Kaon website, kaon.com.au, and purchase yourself a Prado front diff, the replacement plug with the 24mm hex on it, right? 24mm. Works much better. It's much harder for the butchers to wreck that plug than it is this one. So there's nothing wrong with these. I'm pretty fussy with when I replace them, you know, like some are worse than others. Some people really butcher them up, you know what I mean, right? That's what they bring in for us. I just get it out easy with a chisel. That's how you get it out, no problem. There's a technique, I'll get to that in a minute. But even if they're just a little bit damaged like that, well, that's pretty crap as well. But even if we get it out, I'm not putting it in. You'll see some of these that look pretty good. You go, what was wrong with that one? See that one? You go, what's wrong with that one? Well, if you look more closely, right, can you see the corners, you know? And why is it like that? Because people over tighten it and then you got to crack it hard to get it out, right? And that reduces, it's just not as good anymore, right? So I just want a fresh one, okay? Now I don't want to change it every service. So if you've got a new genuine one, so if you bring it to nobody else but us for the 40,000, 80,000 one, and I can't do them all, so it's not going to happen, but if you did, you'd never need to change the plug. You'd probably never need to change the washer, because we're talking at the specification. Over tightening is the problem. So we've been clear, don't over tighten them. You can, we're pretty fussy with them, so if they're a little bit damaged, we're going to throw a new one at it, but we don't keep a lot in stock because we've said please get the Kaon one, because we're not buying and selling all the Kaon gear. Okay, we're busy. Love to be able to do that. Trevor Ryan from Dirt Road 4x4 in Werribee, he can sell you this stuff. He stocks it. He may have them in stock, so if you're on the west side of town, you could even pop over and go and get one, or you can order direct from Kaon off their website, or probably on eBay. You know, Kaon, what is it? Kaon 4X4, Kaon 4x4 on eBay. Check out all their listings. That might be the easy way for you to do it. Go direct to their website if you want to look after them. Save eBay fees. What a waste of money, all the fees and payment system. Another video. Anyway, there it is. Get your Kaon plug, bring it along and say, hey, if you need the plug, here it is, or can you chuck this in at the 40,000k service, 40, 80, 120, 160. I want to be clear, because I've said it before more than once, and vehicles are coming in without plugs and we haven't got them. So I don't know, I've said it before, I don't have an issue with these, right? So that's what we do keep in stock as backup plan spares, but we don't keep many. So if we get a few in 1 week, we're going to run out, and then you're going to end up with an old plug, whatever you've got in your vehicle. So anyway, that's enough on that, isn't it? You want to have a look at this one before we go? That one looks pretty wrecked, eh? Look at that, it came in, I reckon that's not a 10 mil, it's about a 13 mil. Anyway, I was going to tell you how we get it out, right? So how do we get it out? It's really easy. You need a couple of chisels. You need a nice sharp one first, and you put a knot. The first thing you do, all this smacking it, as soon as you smack it with the hammer, this is soft enough you've damaged it, it'll bend in, and then you need to replace it. So if you hit it, you need to replace it. Now, if I go through these, let's spend a little bit more time, you'll find one somewhere that's probably been hit with a hammer, and there's I don't know, it's never the one I pick up when you want it, isn't it? Someone's got it on the side there with this one, that's all right. Oh God, I don't know where it is. You know, see here, someone's hit it on the edge there, right? All that's going to do is bend that, and what happens then, you just get oil leaks because it's bent, it messes with the washer. Where you see black on the copper washers, that's where you got oil leaks. So if you ever see black like that, that's a definite replacement one, right? You can't reuse that. If it looks really good, you can reuse them, okay? They're going to tell you to replace it every time. I'm telling you, you can reuse it quite safely if it's original torque specification, hasn't been damaged, and you're going to re-torque specification. So how to get it out? Nice sharp chisel, put a nice line in it like that so you've got a grip point, but we don't want to cut into it. We're going to wreck it anyway, but we want to get it out the easy way. Once you've got your nice cut line to get a grip, then you need a big chisel and a big hammer, and it needs to be flat on the end, not a sharp one. And then you sit it into that cut line you've put there, and you give it a good smack, and it's just going to come loose. I've been doing it for years. It's a piece of cake. These are not hard to get out. If you've got trouble getting them out, take your vehicle to someone with a hoist that can use the quality 10 mil with a long bar, and it just pops open. For me, I've got to say, just about every time. So these are not a problem for us, but I can give you the solution. The problem is people over tightening them, so don't take it to all these people that over tighten and butcher these plugs, because it's just wasting all of our time. Be very careful, watch the videos, do it yourself. I hope you like this. Please give it the thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe, turn the bell on. We're going to go back to that vehicle and have a look under the bonnet and see what else there is. Okay, so this one underneath the engine bay, the things we've found, the relay on the end of the compressor makes it very difficult to get the airbox off, so you're better off manning the relay. There's a hole and a thread somewhere up along here. Anyway, somewhere up over here out of the way, not there, because very difficult. We had a quick look at the air filter, even though it's not due for replacement on this service. It looks fairly clean, and we had to remove it because this is for inspection of the air filter, but it's been blocked up. There's no point blocking up. We've said this before, whoever fitted the air tech trying to turn cars into boats. I don't know why they do this. It's just, look, I'll be quite honest, it's stupid, you know? And look, forgive me, I'm not calling you stupid. You read something online, and you know, sometimes you just read things and you think, yeah, you know, and you just do it. Stop and think, does that make sense to you? I like the Century Dual Force. Maybe even you got it from Every Battery in Heidelberg. That's who we get our batteries and supplies from. Aircon pipe doesn't look like it's been moved and rubbing, because the smart thing happened and you got the smaller one, so it's not pushing on this aircon pipe, right? Because once you do, you can pop the clips out. I've explained it in other videos. That's why you watch them. You already know. I'm not going to go on about it. Battery terminal. This one is down far enough. Looks good. Obviously, this needs to be back on properly. But see this one. See, it's a couple inches from the bottom. Not really impressed. And see how it's protruding over the top. So that should get loosened off and pushed down again. The other thing we noticed, this is a 150 Prado. I don't use Ryco anymore, but last time I did, the Ryco listing was a Z699 for both the 120s and the 150s, right? So what they do, they get filters, they sort of reverse engineer it, test it, they make it, and then they check it and make sure it, you know, does and meets manufacturer standard or better. That's what they say. I don't like them. I don't like them because for years the thing on the bottom was too small, just like this one probably is. Well, the guard's on there, see the yellow sticker down there? They were too small. So this is the wrong fuel filter unless they've changed the listing. So you guys can check that out. Don't hold me to it. I don't use Ryco. I use Genuine or quality brands made in Japan that are just like Genuine or better, like really genuinely just as good or better. Not yeah, you let me down, Ryco, to be quite honest, when I told you a dozen times that it's too small, in all the phone calls, at the trade shows, at all these events where you were there, and I said, you know, how about we get the base of that extra 2mm, make it like OEM so we can put that bracket back on, and apparently it was funny and we didn't do it. So you lost me. I'm not a fan of Ryco anymore. Anyway, oh yeah, and then it was actually the CEO messaged me and said, hey, we can organise we'll go through the factory tour because I wanted to see a few things, and then never got back to me. So obviously not that keen to show us the truth, maybe. Or maybe they'll watch this video and contact me and we'll just have a look. But look, you lost me. Ryco lost me at hello. Anyway, what else we got under here? There's a lot of wiring going on, okay? It's not bad. It's got the corrugated split tubing, but see it's rubbing on top of the EGR valve. That isn't going to be good. You can even see the plastic dust where that corrugated split tubing's rubbing away the plastic of the EGR valve. So I'll be rerouting that. I don't know who did any of this. I don't know if it's the owner, some shop somewhere, whatever. He might tell me next time because he'll probably see this video and go, yeah, that was me, my fault. Or he'll say, oh, that was such and such, and then it's not going there again. You know, all this tucking wires. I don't like the way, you know, you tuck the wires up and then it holds the trim up, you know, so there's bending the trim. It's just not neat. Personally, I don't like that. Some people do that. Same thing over this side, right? I don't know. It just looks, it's a bit of a jumble, okay? I like to have it, you know, it's not too, this side here looks a bit jumbled. This side over here, it's not too bad. It's just a few wires, and I like direct connections to the battery. That's how I do it. I don't like to fuse things all over the joint and whatever. This is not too bad, right? It looks a bit messy, but it's actually quite reliable if all the terminals are good and all that. So under here, wrong fuel filter, battery terminal not spot on, wiring not ideal, rubbing up there. The fit up of the, you know, it's an awesome compressor and the Kaon bracket and all that, just the relay on the end, not the best idea. Other than that, she's sweet. Of course, probably a little bit overdue for injectors, but that'll probably get sorted out shortly. That's a video. I'll talk too much. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on. Hey, but if you watch this far, you already have, and if you haven't, you got rocks in your head. Awesome information, more coming your way. That's a bada bing, bada boom. See ya.